Hello everybody and welcome to my CS50P final project. This is the Python course from CS50 and I'm excited to show off what I've made. Alright, so this is an auction house sniper intended for the Minecraft minigame Hypixel Skyblock. How the basic premise is that it reads API data about all the auctions and then returns those which are the item that the player requested. After that, it goes in and checks whether it's profitable enough to buy it and resell. And if it is, the it prints out the ID of that auction with a command telling the player to go use it. However, if there's not too much profit to be made, it doesn't print anything. My idea of profit is a 15% margin on items that don't sell quickly, but a 7.5% profit margin on priority items, which I create using an array. Alright, so now here's our actual code. We import our libraries first over here with request, re, sys. We import item getter from operator, and we import title case from title case. Here's our main function. Here's our priority armor, which are these armor names. Here's the armor pieces, and here's some weapons. Now, usually in an armor set, there's 4 pieces, all but the same name sets. For example, Storm's leggings, chestplate, boots, and helmet. So instead of having to write out Storm's boots, Storm's leggings, what I did is I made two arrays and I'll combine them. So that way this Storm's modifier will be applied to boots, leggings, chestplate, and helmet. And that's what we do right here. So for name and prior armor, for piece and pieces, it appends to combine, which is all of our priority items, the name and the piece, with a space in between, obviously. And because all these weapons, they don't really have any pattern to them, it just appends all of them to combined as well. Then it prints combined. That was for debugging purposes. And now, here's where we get our item. I had to use a custom title case because the one that Python has with .title, for some reason, that capitalizes letters after apostrophes. So if I want to type Necrons as shown here, it'd actually be Necron, but with an uppercase S. So that's why I use title case as title case. Next, we call the info for that item and the margin for that item. And now here's where we decide whether it's a good deal or not. If it's 15%, so if our margin is 15% times our price, then we print out the view auction. But if it's not, then we check if it's any other priority item, so whether it's a priority armor or a priority weapon. And if it is, and it's a 7.5% profit margin, then we print out the view auction still. However, if it doesn't match with any of them, and it already failed the 15% margin, then it just says no good profit. Margins are only the margin, the margin in coins, and the percent in profit. And now here's where we get into all of our helper functions. Here's margin. What this does is it goes and it scans the Hypixel API for auctions, going page by page. And for each auction in the page, if the cleaned item name is equal to whatever name that the user chose, and it's a buy it now auction or a bin auction, meaning you can buy it instantly, then it appends it to this big list of auctions which are that item. So for example, if I just typed in Necron's chestplate right here, then auctions would be full of Necron's chestplate auctions. Next, we sort auctions by price because the starting bid is the price, and since it's a bin, there's no more bids on it. So we just sort it by price now, and now we return the margin, which is the second cheapest item minus the cheapest item. However, there's an index error, there's not enough pieces for an item, so there's only, say, one auction available, and so there's no auction 1, then we just exit with not enough auctions for that item. Now here's info. Info is very similar code. But this time I get the UUID of the auction and the price of the auction. This is used earlier, as we saw, to determine whether it's worthwhile to buy, whether it's 15% of what you're spending, and also to print out the UUID so you can actually use this command, copy and paste it into in game, and be able to use this. It's similar here, but this time we append a dictionary with the UUID and the auction UUID, and the price key being the starting bid. Next, we sort it using the key item getter price. All fairly standard so far. And now we just return this dictionary. And similarly, if there's an index error, there's not enough auctions up, then not enough auctions for that item. And now here's our clean function. All this does is just searches for our query in the actual auctioning, because there's such things as modifiers. So in Skyblock, most items can have a reforge, which is an extra word on the item name, and they can also have stars. So if we just want to look for all Necron's chest plates, then I want all of them, not just the ones that directly match that, but also fierce ones or ones with stars. So all this does is make sure that our item is that whatever the user put in is actually in the auction's name. Now, if it's not in there, it just returns the name again, so that it fails this if statement. But if it is, then we print it out and we return the match. And yeah, that's about it. So now I'll run this. As you can see, that's our priority list. And let's check the margins for. Now you can see it's going. And if we pause right here, look, Ancient Necron Chestplate. It still has Necron Chestplate in it, but it has the 5 stars and the Ancient Reforge. So we're gonna wait for all of these to go. These are all matches to Necron Chestplate. And unfortunately, there's no good profit here. It's only a 656,000 coin profit, or a 3% profit. Now, if we try something else, like there's several items that have hype in them, like the Sentry Cave of hype, the Hyper Cleaver, Hyper Catalyst, Hyperion especially. So this will match anything that has hype in it, and that's only a 5,000 coin profit as well. And now we try it with an item that just doesn't exist, like that. It's still scanning through all of the auctions, trying to find any matches for that. But eventually, yep, not enough auctions for that item. Alright, so that was my CS50P final project. I hope you enjoyed. This was about a 1 month journey, and I really enjoyed it. Overall, I feel like this is a good course. I enjoyed this course. Thank you. Bye.